go through physically that kind of sort of overwhelms you, and it really outweighs what it is that you're going through. So I think if we can just meet people where they are in that way, we will see, and I truly believe we will see some type of change, attorney.
Yes, and AJ, what do you say to that question? Because it's so important, meeting people where they are, and people are in so many different, dilemmas right now. There's, as I was talking about earlier, the unemployment, the horror of losing your health care, the SNAP, benefits being cut, the evictions going on, and then seeing these people, gaslighting and making fun of the suffering, and seeing all the contradictions in the lies that are going on. I mean, so people are, in a spiritual bereavement, and they're also watching these, evangelical nationalists, Christian nationalists who are teaching a strange philosophy about Christianity that doesn't mesh with anything Jesus ever said, right? So there's all of these dilemmas. How do you, AJ, meet people where they are?
Well, the biggest thing is the mindset of what you have to have moving forward. And it's honestly just not of this world, just passing through, which allows you to understand that you should have no type of barrier to entry that you put on yourself in going into a place to meet someone. Jesus was able to meet everybody where they were in the midst of their suffering or in the midst of their day. He was able to go to them. Like there's the story of the man with leprosy. There's the story of the blind, of the lame, those who genuinely the rest of society had put them as an outcast, and he was able to still go to them. And it's from these points of outcast, these points where people have been thrown out by society, that we see some of the greatest miracles that he's done. And it's because of doing things like no one else now that we talk about him like no one else later. There is something about setting yourself apart, and not in a sense of being like you're better than most, like you're this all elitist type of mentality, but genuinely going from a humble standpoint, saying, no, you are no better than me. I am no better than you. I am going to meet you where you are to find out what's going on in your life. What is important to you? Every single person, when we talk about these numbers, these percentages, and these giant calculations, all of them are individual people that have individual stories, and they are all important. Everyone has something about them that makes them unique, makes them stand out amongst the rest, and you have to know what's going on in their life to give them the answer for them specifically, rather than just a one-size-fits-all solution. So when I go and I meet people, I make sure that I leave my pride at the door. I leave my ego in the car, because that's not what's going to reach them. What's going to reach them is a listening ear, and not what I have to say.
Oh, yes. Daryl?
Yeah, and it's really interesting, AJ, to hear you say that. But, when you get to the point of going to the parishioners, like the individual parishioners, and encouraging them to get out to vote, to actually get involved, has it been your experience that's happening from the pulpit, that from the pulpit people are saying, take your faith and go and register people to vote and get active with what's happening politically in your community?
Well, I will be honest. Me personally, seeing how ingrained the especially with the SNAP benefits, we're getting to a point where it's almost like God is saying society is going to continue to go down a pathway if you don't talk about people being engaged. Not necessarily giving them something of what to do, but if you don't tell people to go and move, we will continue to see. So I used to have this question all the time, like with my own personal walk. This is something that I used to struggle with heavy. Where is God in human suffering? And when I would ask that question, oftentimes it was met with silence until I went down my own pathway with my relationship with God, that I realized that God resides in human suffering when your heartstrings are tugged, when you can't help but feel compassion for or empathy for a situation. That is God calling you to go and do his will, to serve his people, because that is how his will be made true. He uses us as the vessels in order for that to take place. So when we remove ourselves, yet we allow our hearts to not be callous to the rest of the world, now we're able to see that change happen. And a lot of times within the churches, we do not talk on that. When we talk about Christianity, we talk about playing it safe. When we talk about Christianity, we talk about saying the right thing. When we talk about Christianity, we talk about being peaceful. But we oftentimes say that peaceful is quiet, and peace and quiet are not synonymous. We have to be able to make noise in our communities. We have to be, because that's communication. That's how we'll be able to talk. That's how we'll be able to see what's going on. If we're silent and we allow others to be silent, and we allow the followers of Christ to be silent, then we will not see what's going on. Silence is deadly. And we cannot allow that to continue on in a lot of our communities.
Interesting. You know, Dr. King always talked about the violence of poverty, right? He always talked about the sin of silence, right? Thank you for that. As we close the show, we regret that we didn't have our full show. There's so much we wanted to go into. We may reprise some of this next week, but I wanted to give Daryl, everyone now this opportunity to do their 1 minute. So, what is your final thought on this subject that you want to say to people on this week, when people are, traveling, 8 millions of people traveling, when hearts are, broken and hearts are mended, when joy is, abundant, and when sadness prevails? What do you want to say in your final minute about why this subject of faith and civic engagement is so important as we head into 2026. Cameron?
Here I am. I'm sorry. I was on mute. I want the people to know as we head into 2026 that we have a midterm election going on, and I cannot stress that one sentence enough. To be principled and not partisan. We are heading into a time where we're going to need all hands on deck. All of the elections are very important, but we're heading into one of the most probably consequential elections of this new modern day era. So I would tell the people that this week, as we're pondering on our faith in many different ways, some folks subscribe to Christianity and Christmas, and some folks subscribe to Kwanzaa and the like, and so many different kinds of religions. But one thing I do know is that across all different religions in the ecumenical faith, there is one thing that remains constant in all of them, and that is treating others the way you would want to be treated. Every single religion, in some variation, has that same line, treating others in a way that you would like to be treated. And I believe that goes beyond just the social order. It also goes into our political order and our civic engagement.
Thank you.
If you see that, then there's something we need to do.
Thank you so much. How do people get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me. Follow me on Instagram, CAMB as in boy, dot, the number 8, CAMB.8.
Thank you. Quickly to you, Eugene, same question.
Yes, ma'am. Piggyback on what Cameron said, treat others how you want to be treated. And this is the holiday time, this Christmas time, the spirit of giving. Give back to someone who may be in need. Give to someone who lacks something. Bless someone, and I do believe the Lord will bless you. But also look out for one another, doing the work of the Lord and doing the work of the people. Because as we say, we have an important year coming up next year. And so let us just keep up the good fight, fight the good fight, and continue to help one another.
And how do people get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me. I provide my Instagram as well. That's E.B. Pearson Jr. That's E.B. Pearson Jr. That's Pearsonjr. Thank you all so very much.
Excellent. AJ, same final question.
Joy is one of the strongest weapons that we have during this time. And for us to take this season, we need to make sure that we hone it, that we sharpen it, and that we hold it close. Happy holidays to everybody. And when we come back into this 2026, let's defend our democracy together. I look forward to making sure that I can do my part, especially here in Georgia, to make sure we have a democracy that we're proud of.
Yes, and quickly, AJ, how do people get in touch with you? And you're running for office for Secretary of State in Georgia, right? And of course, we're not endorsing candidates. We're nonpartisan. I just want to get that fact out. But how do people get in touch with you, sir?
Yes, absolutely. Well, you can follow me on Instagram at AJConsonery. That's AJ Consonery. Or you can follow my campaign page at AJ4GA_. And you can also visit aj4ga.org to learn more about how you can support in defending democracy here in Georgia.
All right. And so, Daryl, as we go off the air, having had a very difficult show, but one thing we showed you nationwide, folks, is that we weren't just going to have an open, just air going on with no sound, no substance. TJC is about persevering. We're about fighting against bad odds and difficult circumstances. And that's what we did today. And we're grateful to everybody who has stayed on to listen to this show, who tuned in and stayed with us. We are so grateful. So, Daryl, one thing that we want to say to everybody, right, is put TJC under your tree, right? Put TJC under your tree. Talk about that, Daryl, and take us home.
Thank you, Barbara. We absolutely encourage people to contribute to the Transformative Justice Coalition. You can go to tjcoalition.org, tjcoalition.org, and put voting rights under your tree with TJC. We encourage you to do that. We thank all of our guests, Eugene Pearson for being with us today, Cameron Barnes for being with us today, and of course, Adrian Consonery Jr. for being with us today. Folks, we say it again. Time to get off the sidewalk, get into the street, and get into some good trouble. We had some difficulties today, but guess what? This show today was about faith and perseverance, and we pushed through, and we showed that with the faith of God, with the faith of our work, we can push through. We're going to push through in 2026. We encourage you to contribute to tjcoalition.org. Thank you, everyone. Peace.
Everyone have a beautiful, wonderful, blessed holiday season, and reach out and deep into your soul to find the peace that you need personally. Don't allow people to disrupt you. Don't allow wants, desires, and all kinds of needs to make you lose your bearing. Be blessed, everyone. Know that out here that we love you. Have that joy and blessings in this new coming year. We'll be seeing you next Tuesday. Thank you so much. Amen. Bye-bye.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Urban One Incorporated, Radio One, or any of its subsidiary companies.
The preceding program was paid for by Barbara Arnwine. You've built something real, a business rooted right here in the DMV. So why risk your whole budget on search and social ads? Putting your business on the air right here on this station, reaching real customers has never been easier. Our AI-powered ad manager is fast, affordable, and puts you in control. Reach real people. Get real results. Go to Urban One on tap and use promo code INTRO10 and get 10% off your first campaign. Keep it real.
Vision loss is not something that you feel until it happens.
Most people lose their vision from diseases like macular degeneration and glaucoma. not at birth.
3 million Americans have glaucoma, and half don't even know it.
11 million people in the United States have macular degeneration.
So many eye disorders can be treated if caught early.
Make a plan today to get your eyes checked.
Visit brightfocus.org to learn more.
1450